there's a duck. We will be talking about Jesus' hardest commandment. Be holy, just like I am holy. Or another translation, be perfect, just like I am perfect. This is tough. And it's a reality that many Christians try and face on their own. I mean, let's be honest. How many of us have tried to be holy or to be that good Christian on their own? Like, you went into a day and thought, okay, so I'm gonna have to change myself. Guilty. And actually, I had been doing that, or I had started doing that, and yesterday the Lord was like, whoa, stop that. And he was very, very kind to show me a verse where it's about Peter casting nets into the sea, and he keeps on picking up empty nets. He keeps on getting empty nets after empty net after empty net when they're supposed to be filled with fish, and he's extremely discouraged. And then Jesus comes up to him the next day. Then he's like, cast the net in the ocean. And Peter's like, I've just casted it all night and I caught nothing. Like, do you really think I'm gonna catch something now? But he says, if you say so, I'll do it. So Peter casts his net into the fish, casts his net into the sea. Sorry. And then when he pulls it out, it's so full of fish that they have to like stand on the boat to stop it from capsizing. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, the mental image. Anyways. And that, God used that to create this picture in my mind about when we try to be holy on our own. It's like we're throwing nets into the sea but getting it empty every time because we can't control the sea. We can't control the fishes. We can't even control our hearts. But as soon as we surrender it and give it to God, and He says, throw it into the sea, only then can we yield the results. Only then can we get the tons of fish. And it won't be small results. It's going to be big results. Because our God is a big God. He's a powerful God. How do you do that? How do you become holy? Well, honestly, I think there's a verse somewhere where it says, like, if you walk by the Spirit, you won't fulfill the desires of the flesh. And this is a good indicator of how we're supposed to become holy. Basically, if you walk by the Spirit, so if you follow the Spirit in you, then you won't be following the flesh because the Spirit and the flesh are opposites. So how do you become holy? Basically, try and follow the Spirit. And you don't have to try and do that alone. You can ask God for help, for discernment, for guidance, for wisdom, and He'll give it to you. He says, if anyone wishes for wisdom, let him ask in faith without doubting, and it will be given to him. I think that's in James. Oh, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to put it under here. And you might be wondering, like, what does that really mean, walking by the Spirit? Well, it has two meanings. The first one is literally to follow what He tells you, so to obey God, obey the Spirit. But the second one is to just spend time with God, to spend time with the Holy Spirit, because then you'll get to know Him. And the more you know someone, the more you're able to see what they want you to do, the more you get to know them, to know their motives, who they are, what they're like, and the more you'll be able to replicate that unconsciously. The more you spend time with God, the more God can change you, because the more you're willingly into His presence, and God can do so much in a moment. With one moment, God can change you completely. And so imagine if you give Him multiple moments throughout your day. He's just going to help you and He's going to shape you. And my last point is, this is actually God yesterday who showed me this, and this is completely from God, like that's a word. I was like, God, I keep on focusing on, I try to focus on my, I don't know how to explain it. God, I keep on trying to say the right things. I'm really conscious of what I try and do and say, and how I think and my thoughts, but I'm never able to control my tongue. I'm never able to do this, even though I'm focused on it all the time. So how do I do that? How? Because to be holy, it means to be set apart. It means to be different, to act differently than the world. So that means your tongue, you want to say kind things like Jesus. You want to represent Jesus in how you act, in how you think, in every part of yourself. And I was like, God, I've been focusing on that, but it's not doing anything. And I've surrendered it to you. I've surrendered it. I'm trying to change, but like with you, so what's up? And then God was so kind to tell me, stop focusing on yourself, focus on me. And I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, you're right. Often when we try and be holy, we're focusing so much on our own selves, on how we can be better, what are we saying, what are we thinking? But we should focus on God, who is holy. So next time, throughout your day, try not to focus on what you're doing, but focus on who God is. Pray continually, think about Him, meditate, just say quick prayers now and then. Just be with God, focus on God, fix your eyes on God, and you can ask Him for help with that as well. And so this is how to become holy, and basically you can't. It has to come from God, because He's the only one who's actually holy. But He loves you, and He will help you to become holy. Just spend time with Him, walk by the Holy Spirit, and focus on God.